honestly, the subverting of British parliamentary democracy is horrifying. I think the British parliamentary democracy project has run its course. I think it's not useful anymore. I think it served its purpose, and it doesn't fit a modern age. Um, but to see it undermined like this, it's awful. It's disgraceful. It's a real House of Cards play, and it sees like this truly vile man. Let's be honest, Boris Johnson. He did this act as a clown for a long time when he was mayor of London, and now he's just some kind of supervillain, like the bumbling supervillain that you know deep down is kind of a little bit too switched on and a little bit too evil. And we've got him running the country into the ground, and we have to ask to what end. I don't think we've even scratched the surface as to why these people have been so desperate for Brexit, let alone without a deal. It's been repeatedly proven what a disaster it's going to be for the British economy, British society, and how unlawful the Brexit referendum campaigning was. So what's it all for? There are rumours that it's all about the European Union Anti-Tax Avoidance Directive that came into play at the start of this year, which aims to stop EU companies declaring their profits in lower tax countries overseas and instead makes them pay EU rates regardless where they are. As they should. Taxes are important. They pay for our healthcare, they pay for our education, they pay for our welfare services, among other things. And if this turns out to be true, and that the rich ruling elite of Britain have forced Brexit upon the country in order to avoid paying their fucking taxes, well, I think we should reconsider the gulag. I don't know. I don't know. To add further stress to the situation, especially for the European expats living in Britain. Let's call them expats, not migrants, because I'm an expat, apparently. Maybe I'm a migrant. Maybe I'm a British migrant in Spain. I don't know. But it turns out that, or it seems that Home Secretary Priti Patel is just an outright xenophobe. I don't know. But she's just doing everything she can to stop freedom of movement into the UK for EU citizens. And the issue is that whatever Britain does, it looks like the EU are going to reciprocate for British citizens, meaning that someone like me could potentially if they stop freedom of movement, I could get permission to live and work in Spain, but it would mean I'd have to apply for a visa to cross the border into France or Portugal legally, which at the minute, the freedom of movement in Europe is amazing, especially for the people I work with who travel around Europe, commentating, working on MotoGP. A lot of them are based in Spain, but they can go to Italy, they can go to Czech Republic, they can go to France, they can go all over without needing a visa. What's more, Patel intends to increase the £30,000 income threshold, making it harder for European workers who pay tax and social security in the UK to attain this so-called settled status. Again, a lot points at the EU countries reciprocating the conditions for British citizens. So what she imposes on UK citizens with her left hand, she also imposes on British citizens in Europe with her right hand. And what makes this worse is that the average UK salary of £28,600 falls massively short of the threshold she's proposing. I think she's a real vile piece of work, and she just sums up the xenophobia and the racism in the British cabinet right now. And I think this is added to by the fact that she's the daughter of a migrant family. They've made their home in what was a once compassionate, welcoming arms of Great Britain. You'd expect her to have more empathy and understanding with people that are trying to do the same, bring families to Great Britain for the better of their families, make their home here, and give back to Britain as well. Let's not forget that in 2017, she held unofficial meetings in Israel with officials that eventually led her resignation. She's just awful, really horrible. Like Johnson, undermines everything that British democracy should be.